Classifying life is an endless endeavor. Nature does not owe us explanation and clarification, and so, any attempts to neatly categorize and analyze the kingdom of life is inherently going to be quite difficult. We are left using the fields of phylogeny, the study and categorization of living organisms based on physical and genetic similarities. By assuming that similarities in those aspects denote relation, one can map out phylogenetic trees, diagrams that describe the evolutionary path any species took. It also allows us to separate life into neat little boxes to satisfy our craving for order. Over the years, the Hunters Guild has classified many distinct clades of monsters, grouped based on physical and genetic evidence. The lands are, with few exceptions, ruled by wyverns. These giant reptiles come in so many different classes and shapes that almost every ecosystem includes some wyvern species in its food chain. And while wyverns rule the skies on their leathery wings, there is also a class of wyverns uniquely adapted to life on land and the efficient traversal thereof. As one of the most recently described monster classifications, much about the Fanged Wyverns is still up for debate. What is unanimously agreed upon, however, is that they are quadrupedal wyverns that are, without exception, entirely flightless. They possess no true wing membranes, but may develop gliding skins like patagiums. But always, Fanged Wyverns have 4 strong, well-developed limbs, with the front limbs generally being a lot more powerful than the hind limbs. They also all possess a tail. Beyond these features, however, this class shows some significant variance in shape, coloration, and behavior. In terms of phylogeny, all Fanged Wyverns are contained within a single suborder of Saurischia, Quadrupoda, the group that comprises 4-legged wyverns specifically. It's a fairly small clade, consisting of only 10 genuses spread across 4 superfamilies. One of the most common clades of Fanged Wyverns is the superfamily of the Thief Wyvern, which includes 4 species. Thief Wyverns are also, with one exception, entirely unique to the New World. In this superfamily, we find the Jagras family of Fanged Wyverns, which includes the Jagras, the Gyros, and the Shamos species. Despite being fairly closely related, these 3 genuses display significant visual differences between each other. One thing they all have in common, however, is that they are the only family of Fanged Wyverns that live in large, consistent social groups. Jagras are yellow and slender, living in lush forest environments. The females are distinctly more pale than the males. Male Jagras can, under the right conditions, grow into a massive alpha male, a great Jagras. This specimen is then responsible for the procuration of food, as its massive expandable belly allows it to swallow prey whole and then regurgitate it for its pack to feed on. In an ironic twist, great Jagras are more at the mercy of their smaller brothers than the other way around. Should a great Jagras fail to provide for its pack, the pack might just chase their leader off, or even kill him. They are also the only Thief Wyvern found in the Old World, where they, curiously, seem to not produce great Jagras, or it has at the very least not been sighted yet. The Gyros, meanwhile, are not just unique to the New World, they are only found in a single valley on it, the Rotten Vale. Living in this massive, diseased graveyard has forced the Gyros to evolve various traits to counter it. Their dark scales overlap tightly in order to minimize exposed skin surface, a countermeasure against the airborne bacteria that ravage all living matter in this area. They also possess gills that allow the gyros to breathe while filtering out the bacteria and decomposition gases found in the veil. They also develop a strong paralytic venom in their teeth in order to defend themselves against the top predator of the region, who is extremely vulnerable to said poison. Like the jaguars, the gyros also produce an alpha male, a great gyros characterized by a massive hood. This large individual cares for its pack and protects them using its enhanced strength and venom spit that can paralyze enemies from afar. In turn, the pack obeys their leader. The hood is fused with the great gyros' gills and allows it to produce vocalizations that serve as orders to its brothers, allowing for strategic social hunting. The shamos are also endemic to a single area of the New World, namely the Coral Highlands. These pink thief wyvern hunt using their massive eyes, which allow them to see even in total darkness. They are, however, easily blinded, a weakness the local Tsitsiyaku takes full advantage of. The other family of thief wyvern is that of the gama, which only includes a single species, the dodo gama. Only found in the New World's Elder's Recess, this chunky wyvern lives a relaxed and slow life. It feeds on the bioenergy contained in the crystals of the new continent. To do so, it has a specialized jaw that allows the dodogama to scoop up rock and crystals effortlessly. It then chemically extracts the bioenergy from the material, producing a lot of heat in the process. To avoid overheating, the dodogama has evolved wide skin sacs on its belly, which increase the surface contact between it and the cool rocky floor, allowing the heat to dissipate into the ground. The leftover rock material, now devoid from any bioenergy, can also be heated and spewed out as magma projectiles for self-defense. Its placement as a thief wyvern is actually somewhat contested. Recent discoveries about the dodogama have suggested that it might even share a lineage with blastodes. The second major superfamily of Quadrupoda is that of the Grand Claw Wyvern, defined by especially well-developed claws on their front limbs. While all Fanged Wyvern have large front claws, the Grand Claw Wyvern grow much more sophisticated ones, specialized for whatever purpose each species needs them for. In the Kadachi family, one finds the genus Tobi Kadachi, an electric fanged wyvern that lives in forested areas. It is unique in that it is an arboreal creature, climbing tall trees and gliding between them using a specialized patagium-like membrane between its limbs. Its signature claws are modified to allow for a secure grip on tree trunks. As it glides through the trees, the Tobi Kadachi's thick fur becomes charged with static electricity, which the wyvern harnesses into thunder element attacks. The second family of Grand Claw Wyvern is called Garan, and comprises two genuses, with one being found in the Old World and one being endemic to the New World. In the Old World lives the Luna Garan, an icy fanged wyvern that roams the tundra and taiga. Using a unique organ that regulates the temperature of the air it breathes, the Luna Garan has complete mastery over its body temperature, allowing it to invade many various locales. It can also supercool its skin to create ice armor and even elongate its claws with icicles. Its claws are adapted to this process, being shaped such that the ice can attach easily. Meanwhile, in the New World one finds the Odogaran, a genus of slender fanged wyverns with an acute sense of smell. They specialize in hunting prey down by scent and then ripping it apart. To do that, their 4 false claws are supplemented by a pair of true claws that folds over the regular set, their serrated edges causing massive gashes that kill prey through sheer blood loss. The extra pair of claws is usually folded upwards, so as to not wear them down, while the false claws serve mostly to grant the Odogaran secure grip on the ground. The Odogaran's unique nervous system allows it to process electrical signals at extremely fast speeds, making it extremely quick and nimble while moving. However, this trait makes it also very susceptible to paralysis, which is why the great gyros have developed their paralytic venom in response to the rotten veil species of Odogaron. One subspecies of Odogaron, the ebony Odogaron, is also able to use the rare dragon element. The last species of Grand Claw Wyvern has no described family, and is also entirely unique to the New World's hinterlands. The Wulg, furry troublemakers that stalk the ice. Despite their distinctly mammalian appearance, they are nonetheless wyverns, which use their specialized claws to thread on snow with ease and hold on to prey. While they sometimes hunt in groups, they are not particularly social and are not considered a pack wyvern. The last two superfamilies of Fanged Wyvern only contain one genus each. One is the Zinogre, classified as the Thunder Wolf Wyvern, and also the first Fanged Wyvern to ever be discovered. While it was originally found in the Misty Peaks near Yukumo, it is now found almost everywhere, making it the most successful Fanged Wyvern thus discovered. Its success can largely be attributed to its unique defense mechanism. Zinogre form a symbiosis with bugs, letting them nest and live around and in its fur, and in exchange having them obey the wyvern's commands. The bugs in question tend to be fulgur bugs, which metabolize their nutrition into electricity, which the Zinogre can freely use for combat purposes. This makes it extremely dangerous, as it can charge up a tremendous amount of thunder and utilize it to deadly effect. One subspecies of Zinogre is known to bond with dracophage bugs instead, which feed on dragonfell berries and produce dragon energy, making this Zinogre species even more dangerous, as it is one of the very few non-Elder Dragon monsters to be able to use the mysterious element. The final Fanged Wyvern thus described is the Magnamalo, endemic to the Kamura region. Classified as the Malice Tiger Wyvern, this Fanged Wyvern is extremely ferocious and aggressive, motivated by its unique lifestyle. Magnamalo's position in its social and sexual hierarchy entirely depends on the quality of its armor and especially its horns. In order to protect those features, it metabolizes any bone marrow it consumes during feeding into an explosive heated gas called Hellfire. Hellfire allows the Magnamalo to fight from afar and temper its armor, lessening the risk of damage and blemishes. This motivates the Magnamalo to seek out bone marrow continuously, making it a mega predator that attacks relentlessly and often follows large congregations of monsters. Should a Magnamalo lose its horns, its temper will worsen and twist it into an even more brutal creature indeed. The world around us is a crucible, brimming with life of all kinds. While it is easy to get lost in the day-to-day, there is no bliss as supreme, no peace as complete, as that which comes from simply experiencing nature. In all its forms, natural life is an anthem to the beauty found around and within us. Thank you so much for watching, and a very special thank you to all of our patrons. Remember, if you ever want to watch a video early, that is a perk you get from being subscribed to the Patreon page. You get to see videos a few days before they come out for the public. A very special thank you to Fiction Ape, Anthony the Hedgehog, Arcturian711, Big Pidge, Claire Miboon, Danilo Villavicencio, Dissy, Geo, Hubble Mirror 123, Hashi, Jameson Tate, Magenta, Makot02, Mensch, Mr. Pyramid, Mr. Meander, Mr. Chef, Pide Fuego, Perro Scocco, Person 212, Project Iceman, Rambling Robin, Russell, Sir Newt Newt, Oak Wood Tree, Iron Camel, and Courage. Take care, everyone, and I will see you around next time. Be safe. Bye bye, friends.